I mean, come on. You knew I had to do this one. This was a franchise that I meant to cover in the past 31 Days of Horror, but I just couldn't fit it in there. So, I'm throwing it into this third one. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, because I'm still using these horror marathons as more of an experiment, but this is a movie I've wanted to talk about for a while, so we're talking about it anyway. This is the final franchise for this year's 31 Days of Horror, and to say I'm excited would be an understatement because I love this series. Well, most of it. The last one's crap, but we'll talk about it later. But these first two are so damn good. They're some of the best, most gory, most over-the-top, insane, nutty B-movies that you will ever see in your life. And if you, for whatever reason, have not seen these movies yet, you need to. As long as you have the stomach for the intense gore, because trust me, the gore in this movie is intense. But that's not all it has going for it. At least these first two. Like I said, third one has a lot of problems, but I will talk about the third one when we get to the third one. For now, we're sticking positive because we're talking about the original. And I am so glad this movie exists. It is so wild, so crazy, so over the top, so gory, so jaw-dropping, that even all these watches later, I'm still shocked every time I watch it. But no words I can really say can fully express how much I love this movie. But I'm damn well gonna try, so let's talk about it. What's up, what's happening, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your station, which is Jeffrey Anthony Animation, Queen TV and Movies as well. I'm your host, Jonathan Small. Welcome back to Return of 31 Days of Horror. Welcome to our final franchise of 31 Days of Horror. Not the last review. I have one more planned after these three, but our final franchise review of 31 Days of Horror, Re-Animator. This is a classic from the 80s that I have been excited to talk about, and now we're finally talking about it. I think I've rambled on long enough. Here's my written review. I tried my best to make it descriptive, but this is just a movie that's really hard to describe. You kind of have to just see it to understand it. And for those who have seen it, yeah, you know why it's here. So, without further ado or delay, here's my review of Re-Animator. I hope you enjoy, and I hope it was worth the 2-year wait. To close out this year's franchise reviews for 31 Days of Horror, I think it's safe to say that I saved one of the best for last. Sure, it's not my favorite horror series, that's Friday the 13th, and some can find it either too gross or too silly, depending on your tastes in movies. But from what I've heard from the horror movie community, this is a huge fan favorite, right up there with Evil Dead, especially for the gore hounds. Again, just like Evil Dead. And yes, there's no doubt that the jaw-dropping practical effects are a big highlight, as this one is unrelentingly gory, almost brain-dead level at times. That's no hyperbole, this movie's gory as fuck. But I'd argue that's not its only positive, nor the best part of the movie itself. That belongs to the deranged mad scientist himself, known as Dr. Herbert West, played by the horror movie icon Jeffrey Combs in his most well-known role. His performance is an all-timer for the genre itself. He does such an incredible job playing such an off-the-wall, over-the-top character with absolutely zero compassion, but is not an antagonist. This is one that falls into the anti-hero category. West himself is also an impressive evolution of the classic mad scientist archetype in terms of his character, having the usual overly obsessive pursuit of science, like many Dr. Frankensteins, but being more so an anti-hero rather than an antagonist. He does horrible, evil things, but he doesn't mean to hurt or kill anybody. In conclusion, he's arguably what makes this movie so fondly remembered, and in my opinion, is the best part of the movie. Jeffrey Combs as Herbert West is one of the best performances of any character in any horror movie. Period. Hell, I dare say he's the best part of the whole franchise itself, considering that he's the only actor to be in all 3 movies. But it does have other positives too. It's a great runtime, its pacing is solid, its hilariously cheesy B-movie dialogue is over the top as you'd expect. Over the top characters, very good acting, a huge body count, insane plot, and one of the most wild final acts of any horror movie in recent memory. The best way I can put it is that it starts with head giving head. I can't say any more or it's going to be a spoiler. However, a lot like the stuff, you do have to buy into the cheese, or you might have a bad time. Also, it has a pointless romance subplot and some triggering scenes involving animals. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Obviously, not real animals, but yeah, if you're an animal lover, this movie might trigger you. But just keep in mind, the effects you see of the animals that are said triggering are fake. They aren't actually harming real animals in the production of this movie. Okay? Just want to make that clear. Overall, though, I absolutely love this movie. Sure, it's batshit insane, and sure, it's very over the top. But like the best of B movies, that's just part of the fun. Add on Combs' incredible performance in this most iconic role, and the outstanding gore, and you have one of the best B movies of the 80s. Definitely check out this sick and hilariously demented masterpiece. I literally cannot say anything more than that without spoilers, so let's get to final verdict. My final verdict for Re-Animator is a high, well-deserved, maybe controversial depending on your taste in movies, 10. This movie's a 10 out of 10. I don't give a fuck if I'm the only person on the internet that does it. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. It is one of the best B movies ever made. It's right up there with Killer Clowns, right up there with the stuff, and it's definitely one of the most iconic and memorable movies of the 80s. Check out this demented, wacky masterpiece for yourself, and you will see why I give it the score that I give it. Or you might hate it, I don't know. I don't know your taste, and until these reviews, you don't really know mine. So, yeah, that is going to conclude my thoughts for Re-Animator. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And I'll see you guys next time when we dive into the sequel, Bride of Re-Animator. And would you believe me if I told you it's even more fucking insane? I'll tell you all about it next time.